I would also like to mention that we are having this wonderful event right in the middle of our Turquoise Takeover, which is our Lung Cancer Action Week. You might have seen some news pieces around some eliminations that we've had here in town. This week is really about awareness and getting the awareness out to the masses about Lung Force Walk, about the work of the American Lung Association, and how they too can become action people by joining local events. So I thank you for being with us in a very important part of not only our events, but all of the great work that we do to promote that event prior to. So, as we get going here today, I also would like to mention that throughout the course of us being together, should anyone have any questions, please feel free to drop those questions into the chat. We will, in fact, answer questions at the end of our time together this evening. So, as you hear our discussion and items occur, please feel free to drop those in there and we will address those tonight. I would like to introduce myself as we begin. My name is Michelle Gonzalez Lopez, and I am the Senior Development Manager here at the American Lung Association. I'm so very happy to have you join us this evening, and even happier to introduce my co host. My co host is Andrew Haney. He comes from Burns and McDonnell here in San Diego and also serves as a member of our development committee and is this year's Lung Force Walk chairperson. So please help me in welcoming Andrew Haney. Drew, take it away. You want to go ahead and unmute
My
yourself?
name is
There you go.
Andrew Haney, and I'm with Burns and McDonnell. I serve as a senior geospatial consultant for our engineering company. And I've also been a longtime supporter of the American Lung Association. This will mark my 14th or 15th year being involved in some regard with the organization. And I'm really happy to be your host for tonight. One of the things we do at Burns and Mac, it doesn't matter if it's an organization that we work with for business or organizations that we work with and collaborate with for community outreach. We always try and put our best foot forward. We always try and raise awareness of the cause that we're doing. We always try and put out the best product possible. And to that, we try and create amazing. So that's what we're about to do for this Lung Force Walk this year. We are going to create amazing, and it's going to be awesome. I'd like to also give thanks to Sharp Healthcare. This will be their third year with the event. And they are our local presenting sponsor again. We're grateful to call Sharp as our exclusive healthcare partner for the American Lung Association. Saving lives through early detection is why Sharp has teamed up with the ALA. Everything they do is with excellence, and they're passionate about helping lung force health for all as well. So thanks again, Sharp. And to cheer us on, Aztec cheerleaders are already warming up for this year's walk. They'll be back with us again to help finish at the top for the most successful Lung Force walk in the nation. That's right. We're going to be number one again. Participation. So get your pom-poms out there. Make sure they're turquoise. Wave them around. But get ready for a really great event that we're going to have in June. So in order to make it successful, I'm going to challenge you to bring as many of your friends, colleagues, family members, coworkers as possible to the event June 8th at Liberty Station, NTC on Sunday, June 8th. Ask them to make a personal donation to your team. Every amount is helpful, no matter how small, because it will provide that difference to help end lung cancer and lung disease. Also with that invitation, teams are allowed to compete against each other. You could have, colleagues or um, even mentors, at different companies, challenge them, see how many team members you can raise, see how much money you can raise, create some friendly competition. It's all going to the great cause at ALA. And supporters can participate and support the walk virtually as well. That's called Walk Your Way. So keep that in mind in building out your teams. It could be somebody up in Temecula that's not able to make it all the way down to NTC. Have them on your team. They can walk virtually. So this evening, we're going to try and inspire you and have some fun as well. Michelle already mentioned there is going to be a very sought after Yeti cooler prize at the very end. In order to be potentially selected, please put your name in the chat as we go through. So you can be entered into that chance to win the cooler. Our mission for ALA is bold. There's still a lot of work to be done in the fight against lung cancer and lung health, which is why ALA is leading Lung Forest Walk. The need is urgent, more than ever, to increase the survival rate of all of the diseases related to lung forest cancer. We also, a lot of it comes in research that's done, based on the money that's raised for early detection, treatments, and potential cures. Some of those are listed there. 5-year survival rate is only 17.6%. So that's where a lot of the R&D money goes when it gets raised. It goes into finding treatments, as well as ALA being on the lead for preventing tobacco use, preventing vaping, which often leads youngsters to get into smoking cigarettes. So there's a lot of different areas that we can all get involved with, raise money for the ALA to help in these areas. As you can see, there's a lot that you can do, when you're creating an amazing impact. All the funding that goes along with it, ALA being along for more than 50 years, and then also, helping out the 36.6 million Americans that have lung disease, creating the funding to get the research to help everybody there out. And if I'm staying on. So in order to take a closer look, we have a special guest, our local mission committee chairman, Dr. Tim Morris. Before I bring him on, just ask one question to the entire audience. Who can get lung cancer? Anyone can get lung cancer. That's why we're all in it together, create amazing solutions. But without further ado, Dr. Morris, our mission committee chair, please take it away.
Thank you, Andrew. And thanks everybody for being here tonight, and very excited about generating some interest in the Lung Forest Walk. I hope to see you all there. My name is Tim Morris. I'm a pulmonologist or a lung doctor here in San Diego. I've been a lung doctor since 1994, and shortly after that, I joined the American Lung Association as a volunteer, and I've been a volunteer with them for going on 30 years now. It is a privilege of mine to head what is called the Mission Committee for the Lung Association. And that Mission Committee is made up of local experts in the health professions, both physicians and nurses and respiratory therapists and firefighters and social workers and a variety of different other professions that are all allied on trying to prevent lung disease and promote lung health. And our job is to try to advise the Lung Association about the best place to put their resources and the best place to accomplish their mission with the resources that you will provide by your support of things like the Lung Walk. And I'd like to take an opportunity to tell you a little bit about some of that stuff. And the Lung Association has actually put together a lot of educational materials, and that's sort of near and dear to what we do, is educating both ourselves and also the population at large. So you can see all these little icons down there. These are actual icons that you'll find on the Lung Association website. And no matter what your interest is, if you're a healthcare professional, I would urge you to go onto that site and take a look at some of the state-of-the-art information there about how to improve your practice and how to guarantee the health of your patients' lungs and help fight their lung diseases. But also, if you're a patient, or if you are a family member of a patient, or you're concerned about lung health in general and want to know more about that, there are lots of materials there that are geared right towards you. So if you are a patient who has asthma and you want to stay out in the sunshine, like you can see in that picture, and not end up in emergency departments all the time, then there's some tips there about how you can do that and keep yourself healthy. If you have COPD and you want to enjoy more of life and keep yourself out of hospitals, et cetera, then there's some tips there. There's some tips about people that have chronic infectious diseases of the lungs, like tuberculosis, and how to prevent them. And then if you do happen to contract that, how best to obtain treatment. There is some tips there about tobacco use and how to avoid tobacco use. Some of you who may be active smokers, don't lose hope. There's some ways to quit, and we can help you with that enormously. If you are interested in trying to keep people from smoking, and particularly young people who are tempted by not only smoking but vaping, there's some information there that can help with that as well. And there's some information there about avoidance of lung cancer, and also some really valuable information about how to detect lung cancer at an early enough stage so that it can be treated. And for those of you who haven't been following this field, lung cancer treatment is very different. It's very different than it was for 20 years ago, even 10 years ago. And there's a lot of promise for people who are suffering from that. And you can find out more about that here with the center. But that's information that we're talking about is mostly computer driven and web driven. But I do want to take the opportunity to talk about some live in-person things. And you're going to see a great example of that in what we call the Lung Discovery Tent. So that's a picture that you're seeing right there. And the Lung Discovery Tent will be right there at the Lung Walk. And we start before you start walking. It'll be there long after you're done walking. And there'll be exhibits there. There'll be a virtual exhibit where you can walk through a schematic of the lungs and see where the airways go and where they branch and important vulnerable points for lung disease there. You can see real lungs, and that's what all those people are doing there. That's why they have gloves on, so they're putting their hands on real lungs and looking at the airways and how the lungs interact with the heart, et cetera. There'll be an exhibit there about scans and CT scans and other types of scans that doctors use to try to detect lung cancer and tell its extent. There'll be an example there of something called a bronchoscope, which is a scope that doctors will put right inside the airway. They'll be able to look around inside and maybe obtain samples if that's necessary. And there'll be other types of diagnostic things there, all with the theme of showing you that technology has come a long way towards preventing and treating lung cancer and other types of lung diseases. And you can be a part of this. And your support to the Lung Association can help us do more of these type of educational endeavors, and also help us in a very real sense stamp out lung disease across the country. So hope to see you there. Please come and say hi. That looks like my high school picture there. I look a little older than that in real life, but please come to the Lung Discovery tent and say hi. We'd love to see you. See you then.
Thank you, Dr. Morris, for your leadership. I just know that Discovery Tent's going to be awesome. So definitely, come down on June 8th and check that out. At this time, I'd like to introduce our Lung Force hero, Nancy Diaz-Short. Nancy is a patient here in San Diego, and just this last April represented the American Lung Association at our annual Lung Force Advocacy Day in Washington, D.C. Welcome, Nancy.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Nancy Diaz-Short. I am a proud wife and a grateful mom of two incredible grown daughters who inspire me every day. And I also have the honor for working for UCSD Health as a quality assurance analyst. I want to thank you all for being here today. Whether you're joining us for the first time or you walked with us this journey before, either way, I'm glad that you're here. I'm here to share my story and spread awareness. On November 7th, 2022, my life changed forever. I will never forget the words, "You have lung cancer." It was a moment that took me completely by surprise. Like many of you, I thought lung cancer was something that happened to other people who smoked or had certain risk factors, but not me. I was 41. I was healthy. I exercised. I ate well. I stayed on top of all my checkups. I did everything right. It started with a cough and some shoulder pain. At first, the doctors thought it was allergies, maybe long-term COVID. However, the pain got worse and the cough wouldn't go away. After further testing, I learned that I had stage 4 ALK positive non-small cell cancer. ALK is a rare and aggressive form of cancer that primarily affects non-smokers like me. I learned it was caused by a genetic mutation, something that was completely out of my control. The cancer hadn't just stayed in my lungs, it already spread to my spleen, my ribs, my spine, my shoulder, even to my brain. Seeing those results laid out was something very overwhelming, scan after scan. It just felt like the cancer was just everywhere. It was impossible for me to just, handle all at once. I kept asking myself, how, why, what did I miss? But I've come to learn that cancer doesn't care. It doesn't care about your age, your habits, your lifestyle. It can happen to anyone who has lungs. And that's part of why I'm here today, is to raise awareness, to advocate for research, and to make sure that no one else is caught off guard like I was. I've now been on targeted therapy for 2.5 years. My treatment focuses on the exact mutation driving the cancer growth. Luckily, I am responding well. Because of my targeted medications, I was able to witness the birth of my grandbaby. I am forever thankful for every day I'm given. Just a few weeks ago, I had the chance to speak with the California senators, and I shared with them that if I'd been diagnosed 15 years ago, I would not have had this opportunity. It's because of advances like biomarker testing and new targeted medications that save and extend lives. My medication is shielding my body from the cancer, but unfortunately, it is not a cure. Eventually, it will stop working. When that happens, I only have 2 treatment options left. If research stops, the door closes for me and for so many others. The truth is, lung cancer is no longer just a smoker disease. It's affecting more young people and more non-smokers than ever before. It's a human disease. And research? Research is hope. Research is a reason why I'm still here. And that's why I'm inviting all of you not to just walk, but join me in this fight to help build a better, healthier community, a community that lifts up survivors, honors loved ones we've lost, and gives hope to every person currently fighting this disease. If you're new to Lung Force Walk, welcome. You're now part of something incredibly meaningful. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Now it's time to get your team together, start fundraising, and get exciting for this amazing day. Because there's Because of this is more than just a walk. It's a chance to honor somebody's battle, to celebrate a survivor, to remember somebody you've lost. It's about walking with purpose and walking with love. So I want to personally invite you all to join us on Sunday, June 8th at the NTC Park Liberty Station. Bring your friends, your family, and yes, your fur babies too. It's going to be a morning filled with joy, connection, and hope. And here's something to think about. If every single person who attends just gave $5, it could go a long way. That kind of simple, heartfelt generosity truly makes a difference. And it gives us all a fighting chance. So let's walk together. Let's fight together. Let's raise our voices for those who can't. And let's keep moving forward for more research, more treatment, and more survivors. Thank you all so much for listening. And I hope to see all of you there.
Thank you, Nancy. You're just amazing being you. So appreciate you. Before we continue, I'd like to remind everyone, drop your name in the chat. You can be a winner. Yeti Cooler. So there's no question why we need to get involved in the Lung Force Walk. And our goal is $325,000. There's a lot of work to be accomplished as lung cancer remains the leading cause of cancer death, with more than 35 million people living with chronic lung disease. We have diminished air quality. Tobacco products continue to evolve and be marketed, and access to healthcare does face ongoing threats. So from raising these funds, advocating for change, and investing in research together, we can save more lives like Nancy's. So start early, make a self-donation to your team. Go from a zero to a hero in 10 seconds. Connect your walk dashboard with easy tools for social media like Facebook, LinkedIn, X, all of them work. Don't miss your chance to receive our commemorative T-shirt at registration for every participant that raises $100. Let's start there. See how many T-shirts we can give out from that amount that's raised. That's how we create amazing results. Also, we really like to thank those that are a part of the event, the sponsors on the corporate and company level. Yes, first of all, Sharp, the exclusive healthcare partner and presenting sponsor again for the third year. There's also companies that have participated and helped out for many years. Burns and McDonnell being one, Osceola Consulting, San Diego County Air Pollution Control District, La Mesa Rehab, and the San Diego Foundation. All of those, thank you. Also, our thanks go out to the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 569, Walmart, Pullman X, City of San Diego, and our newest partner, Yuha Aviatom of San Manuel. One thing we're going to do is look at our 2025 leaderboard for teams, but before we do that, let's give a big shout out to our 2024 teams. Many of you are with us tonight, and we haven't forgotten about the amazing results that you created last year. So together, all of these teams raised more than $40,000 for ALA. So thank you for helping advance our mission. If you have not re-registered your team, please go to the website and do so again, or reach out to Michelle, and she can definitely help you through the process. And now we can give a shout out to our 2025 top teams. And I'm really interested to see how this ranking goes up and down as people start to get involved, start creating that amazing. Who's going to end up number one? Who knows? Got 30 days. Let's get started. So all of you are trailblazers, and we're so grateful for your efforts in helping raise money for the ALA. So keep up the great work, and let's get more money going towards the mission. So some ways in which we're going to help encourage teams to participate is actually having a team week right before the walk, about 2 weeks before. We would like to offer up some prizes and giveaways and contests up for grabs in this team week from May 25th to May 30th. These are some of the companies that are offering up items that will be won during that process. Follow us at California Lung to learn about daily contests and prizes. That should be a lot of fun, just keeping momentum going and enthusiasm up. Many of you also probably like Lung Force swag. Your favorite color is turquoise. So yeah, I bring all of mine in. So there's all sorts of things based on how you raise money. Again, just starting at this smaller, $35 level, getting a stainless steel straw, good for the environment, good for your drink. Just start small and move up. Encourage people to participate in your team, coworkers, colleagues, friends, relatives. Get them all involved, and before you know it, you're going to be up there with getting hats and jerseys and that sort of thing. Also at the team level. So just there are incentives out there, and they're just incremental in how you meet them. Just the challenges about fundraising. Sometimes it's also good just to touch base on how to do it. That's when I think next to public speaking, asking people for money is probably the second hardest thing to do. So maybe what you might want to do is reach out to Michelle, come up with a game plan, how you could outreach to relatives, how you could outreach to friends, what sort of things you can put on in the office, just to raise that awareness. Maybe just ask for minimal donations, $5 here, $10 there. Before you know it, it definitely will add up. One last chance, get your name in the chat. We're about to do the prize wheel, so I'm going to send it back over to Michelle to get this opportunity drawing started.
Thank you so much for that, Andrew. I know this is the time that everyone has been looking forward to, and we are going to bring up our prize wheel now, and let's get a winner for this Yeti cooler. Are we ready to rally for that winner? Okay, here we go. We are pulling up our wheel of fun and getting ready to render us a winner. Congratulations to Victoria Maltsev. Thank you so much for being a supporter of Lung Force Walk. We are greatly appreciative of all that you do to support us in our mission, and we look forward to getting you that Yeti cooler in your possession so that it's another tool that you can use with you when you come on out to Lung Force Walk. So again, congratulations, Victoria. Okay. And for us to work on a way for us to create amazing together, I would like to share with you our amazing day. A Lung Force Walk this year will be opening up its registration, coffee, food trucks, and festivities, as well as our Lung Discovery tent at 8 a.m. Our program from the stage will begin at 9 a.m., followed up by a Zumba warm-up to get us ready for our brisk walk around the park. 9:30, we will then get everybody lined up to start our non-competitive run, our walk, whichever you prefer. 9:35, we will go ahead and get our walk started, encouraging everyone to get out there and get in the morning air. 9:45 will begin the chance for opportunities for those who would still like to participate in the walk but can't necessarily do the entire course. There will be a 1 mile loop that will open at 9:45. Back to our awards and prizes at the stage at 11:30. And from 11:30 on, we will have an amazing beer garden that will showcase local breweries here from San Diego. And we encourage you to come on out and have a beer with us. I also just wanted to point out that the lovely lady that is on this particular slide, if you recognize her, that is our Lung Force hero, Nancy Diaz, which I think is just adorable. So please come on out, join us, meet Nancy, and have an amazing day with us. Again, I just want to mention if anybody has any questions about this evening or any Lung Force questions in general, please feel free to put them into the chat and we will get to those questions before we leave this evening. Andrew?
So this is the group activity everybody's been waiting for. So this is sort of a pledge that all of us can take together. Feel free to take yourself off mute if you want to, but it's why we walk pledge. So just start with me. Why do we walk? To unite people as one mighty force to come together and end lung cancer and lung disease. Raise critical funds for life-saving lung cancer research, early detection, initiatives, and awareness. And Lung Force Walk is great for friends, family, and company teams to come together to support people with lung disease and lung cancer, have fun, exercise, and create amazing. To make all this happen, it all starts with me and my team. I'll pass it back to Michelle.
Thanks so much for that, Andrew. Again, thank you all for being with us this evening. This has been a great opportunity for us to get together. I will leave all of you with, we can't wait to see you and to create an amazing day with you. Again, here is our schedule of events for Lung Force Walk 2025. I want to thank you all for being with us. I also want to mention that the lovely Delana Bennett of Star 94.1 will be joining us again. You would see her lovely face in my background. She will be our on-air talent that will be joining us. So please say hello when you see Delana and crew over at the event. They do an amazing job of keeping us lively, keeping us excited, and keeping our morning moving. Thank you again. At this time, we are concluding and done with our event, but we will stay on for any additional questions that anyone might have. Thank you. I see there are no questions in the chat. Hi, Trini and Kaylee and Shaker. Thank you all for being with us this evening. Thank you, Shaker. Bye. Thank you, Nancy. Okay.
Yay, thank you. Great job.
Yay. Okay.
That was exciting. Spinning wheel was fun.
Thank you for telling me Delana was there. I couldn't see everyone. So
Yeah, yeah. Well done. Thanks, everyone.
thank you.